Just a few more miles. Huh? No. What just happened? Come on, turn back on. Come on! Nothing. It's dead. I can't see my speed. I can't see anything. Please, come back. Okay, stay calm.
I want to tell you about something that just freaked me out the other day. It was actually last week. I meant to make this video sooner, but I haven't had time. But, you know, most of you know that have been following me about my Prius journey. If you don't know the whole story, click the suggested video in the link and you'll see the playlist of my journey with buying a new or previously owned vehicle. And what I ended up with was a 2008 Toyota Prius. It had about 147,000 miles on it. It was in really good shape. You know, this was actually garage kept. You know, for the number of years, it didn't have that many miles on it. It was very well maintained. In fact, the day that I got it, the owner had, you know, just taken it for an oil change, and all systems were good. Everything was pretty good about everything, except I did have a couple of issues. And, you know, the primary issue that I had with this, and I'm just going to repeat this because it was in my previous video, the display, you know, that shows your fuel gauge, it was definitely inaccurate. Like right now it's flashing E, and you know, I've only driven just under 300 miles. And this vehicle with a full tank should go 400 to 500 miles on a single tank. So it's definitely inaccurate. It hasn't really bothered me that much, other than the fact that I just got to keep track of my miles so that, you know, I know when I need to fill up really. And, you know, I try to fill up right around this point, you know, when it's about half a tank. But, you know, originally it was reported by other users that there's been problems with their self-sealing tanks of this year. And basically what happens is they start to shrink, so they won't fill completely up. Well, I don't think that's my problem, because it actually seemed like it took a pretty good full tank. And so that was a relief to me. I didn't really know if that was going to be a major issue that I would have to replace. But it's just definitely a default on the gauge, and I think there's some way of resetting it, but I just haven't had time to do it. But the freakiest thing that happened to me the other day was when I got up in the morning to go to the gym, and I go, you know, when it's dark. It was like 6 a.m., completely dark. I started my vehicle, and it was actually pitch black outside because, you know, there wasn't any moonlight or anything like that. And when I started up, normally, you know, all the lights light up in, you know, your displays and everything. And let me just switch my camera around. This display lights up, and, you know, your dash lights up. Well, what really freaked me out was my dash lights didn't light up at all. I mean, there was nothing there. It didn't show my miles, what gear I'm in. I mean, you know, what, you know, my parking or whatever. No fuel gauge, no mileage, no nothing. Not even the ready lights or the AC, none of that. And I don't even think the maintenance required light was on. None of that was on. And I'm thinking, you know, gosh, you know, I just got this vehicle, and now that could be a major deal, because, you know, even when I take it in for service, they're going to like, oh, okay, what's the mileage? How do you know how many miles are on it? How do you know how many miles you went? And so I was freaking out. You know, I got on my phone, and I did a little research, and it basically says that the dash display outage on a 2008 Prius is a well-known issue typically caused by a failing combination meter, the circuit board that runs the dashboard display. And I'm like, oh, great. You know, that's going to be a major repair. And it says, due to a weak or failed capacitor inside the unit. When this fails, the car often won't turn off, which that's the other freaky thing that happened. Actually, I did take it to the gym. I just, you know, watched my, you know, my speed and everything. Then when I got to the gym, it wouldn't shut off. I would hit the power button and nothing would happen. And as luck would have it, I was like, I had to really go to the bathroom bad. So, I mean, I'm talking about number 2. So I decided, well, I'm just going to, take anything valuable out of my car and just go inside the gym. I went to the bathroom, left the car running, left the car on. And when I was done doing my business, I came back out, it was still on. I went back in, and then, I started doing some research on it. And basically, there's a fail-safe way of shutting it off. I didn't see this particular thing because I saw somebody's video, but basically it says what you want to do is insert the key fob into the slot below the power button, right there. So you just insert the key in there, and my key fob is in my pocket, of course, and that's my key fob. So you just stick it in there, and then and this is also something you can do in case your battery goes out and you need to be able to operate the car. This is a fail-safe way. But insert the key fob into the slot below the power button, even if using your smart key. Press and hold the power button until the vehicle turns off. This may take 10 to 30 seconds. And I did something to that effect, and it actually shut off. And I'm like, oh, I was so relieved. But I still had the problem. I still had no lights. So the other alternative is that if that fails, you can disconnect the negative or positive terminal from the 12-volt battery. That's the one in the back rear there in the trunk for 10 seconds, then reconnect it. This will force the car to shut off and reset the electronics. And that probably is another way to, I think they did mention that it could be a way to reset your dash display. But this is how it tells you how to reset or temporarily restore the display. It says this problem sometimes temporarily resolves by removing and reconnecting the 12-volt battery. All right. For a quick dash restart, some users report success by turning the car to accessory mode. And I think that's one of the things that I did. No brake pedal, press power button once, waiting a moment, then holding the climate button while toggling the headlights a few times. I don't know if I did that or not. I think maybe I did. I reset it by accident. I don't know. I just kept hitting a bunch of things, and voila, the display came on. Oh, it says at the end, step on the brake and press the power button to start as usual. But so far, I haven't had any more issues with that. I freak out every morning wondering if it's going to be the morning that I won't have any display. But so far, it's been over a week, and haven't had that problem ever since. It says the only permanent solution is to repair or replace the combination meter circuit board. This typically involves replacing a capacitor on the circuit board inside the dash. There's do-it-yourself guides. You can probably get the parts, but it says dealership replacement is expensive, around $800 to $1,100 typical, probably more now. But it says it's not a cause for any other electronical issues or anything like that. But again, another potential problem. These are things that you have to think about when buying a used vehicle. You just don't know what you're going to get or run into. And again, the more miles that you have on your vehicle, the more potential problems that can come up. I haven't had any other, knock on wood or vinyl, but I'm praying that I don't have any other problems. The other thing that I mentioned in my last video is the little device that I bought to give me a wireless connection and so I can listen to YouTube videos and whatnot. This is UGREEN. It's a UGREEN adapter, and I'll put the link in the description below. But it has a regular USB connection there, and then at the other end is a auxiliary adapter that just plugs in there, and it just plugs into your auxiliary adapter, and then when you hit auxiliary on your car, so just hit that mode, and it will enter into auxiliary mode and give me or allow me to play my YouTube videos with no problem right through my car speakers, which, you know,
power on, connected.
Okay, so that just connected. So that was one of the other big negatives, is that it didn't have that. So this was an older year. You know, that sort of feature hasn't been developed up to that point. Although it did have calling on your phone when you want to make a call, it does that wirelessly. But it would not allow me to play, you know, videos and things off of my phone. You know, my trusty iPhone 13, just normal iPhone 13. And right now I don't really see any reason to upgrade, even though the new phone looks awesome. This one is still going strong, and I don't even have a case on it. But it's got a little bit of a few nicks and dents and stuff like that. But, you know, other than that, the car's been doing pretty good. I just pray that there's not any other major issues. And I'm just praying that I get lots of mileage out of this vehicle. All right, that's all for this vehicle. I just want to, for this update, I just want to give you more information about what's going on, and let me know in the comments if you own a 2008, or maybe this might happen in other years. I don't know, but if you have a Prius and this has happened, please let me know in the comments what year vehicle that was, how many miles you had on your odometer, and what you did to fix the problem. Did you just reset it like I was mentioning, or did you actually go through the process of replacing that capacitor? And what did it cost you? Did you do it yourself? Was it easy? Was it hard? You know, let me know in the comments, please. I want to hear from you. All right, I appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please hit subscribe and click the bell so you get notified of my next video. You know, I know you may look at my channel and you see a lot of hair stuff. Eventually, my channel is going to evolve into more everyday stuff, a lot of different things that really apply to people over 40 and more close to my age, which is over 60. So again, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for commenting if you've commented, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Take care. Have a great day and a blessed day.